Welcome back. It's 5:39. We're on the final furlong now. A treat is in store now for nature lovers because baby beavers have been born in urban London for the first time in 400 years. Now, this comes after a family of Eurasian beavers were introduced to a nature reserve in West London last October as part of a biodiversity project. It's a story that's going to make your cockles be warmed. And here is Dr. Sean McCormack, who is the chair of the Ealing Wildlife Group, and he joins me now. What a wonderful story, Dr. McCormack. Tell us more about this magical story of triumph over urban adversity.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. Thanks for having me on. It's been a busy couple of days announcing this development to the project. So basically, we went to Ealing Council and Natural England and said that beavers are back in Britain and there will come a time when beavers are kind of colonising towns and cities, and we want to learn how to live alongside beavers in the urban environment, in the urban context. And the place we produce or put them into is called Paradise Fields. It's an area that suffers a lot downstream from urban flooding. So we said to the council, instead of spending hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of pounds on expensive engineering works, beavers could provide this ecosystem service and flood mitigation for us. So let's trial something different and new and exciting, not only for kind of flood alleviation, but also for biodiversity improvements and for engaging urban communities with nature. So we put them in last October. They've done really well. And we were absolutely thrilled this month to see 2 tiny baby beaver kits emerge from the lodge.
I'm just seeing some superb footage there on the screens of like a nature watch nighttime environment. And of course, Dr. McCormack, beavers were indigenous for many, many centuries all across Europe. They were hunted to the point of extinction, weren't they, because of their pelts. How are you taking care of these beavers?
That's right. Yeah, they were a very valuable animal and we hunted them to extinction in this country 400 years ago. They were down to about 1,200 beavers across the whole of Europe. So we really nearly wiped them out because they were quite valuable to us. But we realized they were actually more valuable to us alive than dead. They provide a whole range of ecosystem services. Their wetlands are extremely complex and capture carbon. They clean the air. They provide flood alleviation in the wintertime with high rainfall. And they provide drought mitigation in summer by holding more water on the land. So there's been many efforts across Europe to reintroduce them. And we're kind of lagging behind here in Britain with reintroducing them. They've been back for about 25 years or so, and it's thought that there's about 2,000 to 3,000 living wild free lives, but ours are in an enclosure trial. We're taking very good care of them. We got 5 beavers, mum, dad, adolescent daughter, and 2 kits from last year, and now we've had 2 new additions, so we're up to at least 7. We've only seen 2 kits together so far, but there may be more, we don't know. But yeah, we're looking after them with a team, an army of volunteers. It's a community-led project, and everyone is totally enamored with them. And even more so now that these tiny little beavers in miniature have appeared.
And Sean, obviously we're pre-watershed without going into details. How difficult is it to get these beavers to breed?
We didn't have to do very much. We just provided them with the space. We've given them about 4 times the recommended space recommended by Beaver Trust, and it's absolutely beautiful habitat for beavers. So we were very confident that they would come in there to Paradise Fields in Greenford and think this is a paradise for us. They've got plenty of food, places to hide, plenty of space. Crucially, this is a publicly accessible project, so plenty of space to get away from people and dogs, which was one of the main concerns that the community had around the project. But they've cracked on. They've made 5 or 6 dams now, actually, and they've created deep water refuge for themselves. They were perfectly content. And earlier in the summer, I spotted the mum kind of leaning up to capture some willow and eat. And she had quite prominent teeth. So I knew there was babies in the lodge, but we had all our fingers crossed that they would emerge and be healthy and happy and survive, and they have. So yeah, there's a real team and there's a real feel-good factor in the whole of Ealing now that our beavers have had babies, and they're the first ones in urban London. Not the first ones in London. Enfield were about a year ahead of us on that front, but they're in quite a rural location on the outskirts of London. This is in the heart of an urban area, urban community. So it's really different and unique, and it's fully publicly accessible so people can come in and see what beavers can do.
Great stuff, a real feel-good story, and heaven knows we need that at the moment. Dr. Sean McCormack, the chair of the Ealing Wildlife Group, thank you very much for sharing your beautiful beavers with us. Now, from cute, furry animals to pesky birds, we're crossing over to